Yeah! I'm ready, baby!
Fate decided.
Craving something scary.
Yo, 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 what's up? Q&A Mondays, the Lethal Collective is coming at you live. What's going on, fellas?
What's up? What's up?
I never know what I'm going to say when we first come on. It's
That's the beauty of it. You never know what to expect.
That's right.
You kill it every time. You do a great job. I just kind of sit here in silence, so I mean, you're doing better than me.
Yeah, well, it's called finagling it.
I mean, come on. The bar isn't very high, Jake.
Exactly.
Yeah, well,
it's true. It's true. Oh man. All right. Well, hey to everyone in the chat. We see you guys, Val and Jen and Extron and Carrie. Let's see who else we got. Russell, of course. Russell is there. Wayne, all the way from Australia. And that was a bad imitation. Jordy's in the chat. What's up? So a big blanket hello. Katie's in the chat. To all of you folks, Jennifer as well. As usual, if you guys have a question for us, just type it in and we will try to get to it. We may not get to all of them, but we will try our best. So, guys, Jake, my man, you found the gold mine and you told us, you gave us the game plan for today. So what do we got, man? Talk about
oh my God, some crazy Halloween Ends news, everybody. That's
Yeah.
kind of where I wanted to start the conversation today. Got some. Oh, Mr. Rick's here. What's up, Mr.
What's
Rick?
up, Mr. Rick?
Hey.
Oh,
Yeah.
real quick, Jake, before you start diving into it.
Hit me.
We do have, which should stream at the bottom right about night still not right. There we go. Right about
There
now.
was a delay. I was there.
It is Q&A Mondays, and yes, we will try to get to your questions. But if you have a dying, pressing question that you want us to answer, we do have PayPal and Cash App now. You guys have been very kind the last few streams that we've had with it. It obviously won't come up on the screen, but I have my notifications turned on. So if you want, that's one way to get in front of the line, and then just leave your comment in the where you can leave the notes or whatever when you give that gift. That would be awesome, and then I can stop whatever we're talking about, address that immediately, so you guys get your question answered. But go ahead, Jake, get that in there.
All right, so some quotes from the people involved with Halloween Ends, starting off with director David Gordon Green talking to Total Film Magazine about what the heck is going on in this new film. Are we going to be explaining where Michael's been for the past 4 years? A burning question on my mind, at least, because I want to see the guy bite into a fucking rat. But David Gordon Green tells us we don't really explain that. And he says, it's like, I don't want to see where Jaws goes to sleep at night when I'm watching a shark movie. I want to see him when he pops up and he gets an appetite. I respect it. I get it. I have some thoughts on it, though. But what do you guys think? I'm going to throw that to you guys, whoever wants to take that first.
Well, I'll jump in first. I think, well, yes, I wanted to see him have Thanksgiving with rats. I did want to see it.
Who doesn't?
Michael gets hungry. Okay, Michael gets hungry. But I will say, the shape, Michael Audrey Myers, we don't want to see him sleeping. We don't want to see him, washing up in the morning, getting ready for a day of killing and all that type of stuff. So it is better mythology-wise to just see him all of a sudden, bam, he's there. And in our mind, similar, and I know Stephen will appreciate this, similar to H2O, you're thinking, where the hell were you all this time? Were you just chilling, zoning out with the animals in the forest? What were you doing? And I think in a way, well, I really do think it makes it all more mysterious and more creepy. So I agree. Overall, I agree with the decision. There is that part of me, though, that was wanting to see maybe something. But, a lot of times when they start going into explaining stuff or over-explaining stuff, especially for someone like Michael Myers, it usually doesn't end up very well. So I'm good with it.
Yeah.
Graven, you want to go? Because I have a lot to say about this stuff. So
Let
you guys get up first.
Yeah, mine'll be probably a lot quicker then. Let me do that. I'm fine with it, man. Again, less is more, if you ask me. And Michael Myers is someone who I don't want to know a whole lot about anything. Honestly, I don't want to know what makes him tick. if it's the mask, if it's the mold in the mask where he draws his power, it's a moldy power. Whatever the source of it is, and that was supposed to be a joke. Anyway, did not land obviously. So yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, ha ha. Good one, Craven. Thank you, my man. But you've been working on it all week. So yeah, but seriously, whatever his source of his power is, I don't want to know. Whatever he's been doing for the last 4 years, I don't care if he's hanging out in abandoned malls across the country.
Ooh,
if he's going to abandoned, what do they call those things, like Six Flags? Amusement parks that have been abandoned and left for dead.
Just
Maybe he's
riding
living
the
in the fun house. Maybe he's living out there. He could be having some old nasty deep fried Oreos or something. Whatever it is, deep fried rat. But whatever he's doing.
Love.
Oh, yeah, man. Maybe that's a delicatessen.
Michelle Myers. Oh, man.
Oh, Michelle. Oh, no. Oh. Maybe he's got a whole baby mama family out there somewhere in an abandoned mall.
He's about to kill somebody and gets a phone call. He's like, hey, no. He's like, what's up,
like,
babe? I'm busy.
He's like, here we go. He just grunts. These little babies come with little Myers masks on. Little baby masks they've made
They're
for
just
me.
born with the face.
Yeah, they're born with the mask on.
Latex.
Wow.
Halloween finds love. That's the fourth David Gordon Green movie.
Love.
Exciting and new.
Michael and Michelle are doing the clay from Ghost.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah. But they're covered in blood too. You know,
Yeah,
they got
they're just
blood in the
covered in
clay.
blood.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh
Awesome.
yeah, it's like blood in each other's mouth.
Yeah.
Face.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh man.
So, that's type O. Oh, that's type A. That's too bad.
That's too bad.
That's too bad. I need a type B negative B blood. But here's the thing. Yeah, I don't want to see any of that. I want to just keep it all a mystery. And Jake, just for you, just because we're buddies, I hope we see a rat head in his mouth. I'll be honest with you. That's really more for you. I want that for you.
It's right for you, buddy.
I'll celebrate it though. I will celebrate it.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed, man. Yeah. But yeah, I'm good, man. Let's show up and just start. Let's go. Just show up and let's go.
Yeah.
I'll just say Fate because I know you. I think you got a tyrant, just a whole rant to go on essentially. But
Probably.
I'll just
It's
give
a
you.
Halloween movie. Of course he does.
Of course. All I'll say is I just hope that I'm totally down for the mystery angle. I like that too. That's fun. But I just want like a context clue, just something that I like. Don't directly say it into my face, but just be like, oh yeah, he was, just living in the sewers the past 4 years. You don't have to have someone come on screen and be like, Michael Myers has been living in the sewers for 4 years now. You don't have to do that. You can just show me him emerging from the sewers. And he's like, oh, and he does like a Hulk roar or something. No, don't do that. But he rips off everything. He's like, oh!
Wait, hold on. Was that
He turns into a werewolf. What? Yeah.
That was more like Chewbacca, Steven.
He's a Wookiee.
There we go.
God.
I love it.
Okay.
All right. Anyways, that's all I got to say about it.
Okay.
Fate, how you feeling about this?
Follow that, Fate. Have fun with that.
Well,
follow that.
before we start, I just want to say Jake's drinking a mega pint of water. I love seeing it. Craven looks awake and alive. I mean, come on, we'll give it up one time. We got everyone looks good today. We all got energy. We're thriving.
H2O, baby.
H2O. Some might call it
Yes.
H2O.
We're at 8:24.
So, first off, okay, I did make a video if you want an in-depth rant. I won't go 20 minutes on a rant, so I'll shorten it. Check out the video if you want like my full in-depth thoughts. But here's my problem is, okay, like we have this 4-year gap. If Halloween Kills had like a conclusive ending, then and you pick up 4 years later, okay, fine. I'd be totally okay with like just a brief, like, yeah, like after the events of Kills, and we all have an understanding of what happened and how it ended. And it's like, oh, he was living in squalor somewhere over here. Okay, that's fine. Problem is Kills left so many questions and so many things left in the open that now you're just going to, what it sounds like is you're jumping 4 years and you're not going to give an explanation. That is a huge problem to me. What's up?
I was, I've got something. Well, actually, I don't know if Jake was going to get into that part too, but I think there's a very good reason for the 4-year gap. And we actually talked about this months ago, as far as why, or at least one of the reasons why you could understand there'd be a 4-year gap. But I'll let you finish your point, and then I'll jump in.
All right. So yeah, my that's my biggest problem is I feel like they're gonna leave so many questions unanswered for what? Like if this was we were approaching part 2, okay, cool, because you can kind of wrap everything up in a bow. Problem is you had this part 1 and 2 essentially that didn't have a conclusive ending, and now you're just gonna pick up years later and just brush that over, like, and like I understand, like even in the video, I had a lot of people comment that were like, hey, they've never really explained where Michael's been, stuff like that. And I do understand that, but most of the movies have a definitive ending. Like we know Michael escaped or whatever, and he just like my problem is we like the town people just they just let Michael chill in his house till he left. They lit the house on fire, like like you have Lori, and I understand even like later on, I'm sure we could go into that more, but like in the article it talks about how Laurie Strode, she, it sounds like she goes to therapy or something. She like comes to her, like, which is great. That's fine. But that's not where you left her. You didn't leave her in a position of like trying to get over this mental monster that is Michael Myers. And like, I just feel like you're going to have all this stuff that's just brushed over. We're going to get to Halloween Ends. Everything's just going to be right in the world with Laurie and stuff like that. You're going to have Corey, kill his kid while babysitting or whatever and all that stuff. You have that take off. Okay, like that's fine. But like what's going to happen in between all that stuff? I need something. Like what happened with Karen? What happened with like the characters? Like what happened with the town of Haddonfield? Is Michael perceived dead? Is he alive? Like everyone just was like okay with just leaving him, like just walking away because they just took their L and like. And I don't think we're going to get any of those answers. So I think by the time we get done with Halloween Ends, and you look at the whole package, there's just going to be so many chunks that are just like missing and pieces that don't really fit, like because you don't have that original explanation. Like, and that's my problem is that Kills just left everything up in the open, and now we're just going to pick up like everything is right in the world. That just doesn't make sense to me. And, it's just, I don't know. I feel like they're going in an unnecessary direction for what? Like, you didn't have to do that. Like 4 years is a long time. Like, you're not talking months or even the following year. Like Michael could have died of old age by that point or starvation or something. Like, it's like, and we're in this situation where it's like, like I want to know these answers. It's just.
All right, well, I got an idea. And we talked about this months and months ago. I remember I was saying this. I think the 4-year gap. First of all, we don't know exactly how it's going to start. Okay, right. One of my theories was that there will be, some type of whatever as far as showing what happened at the end of Kills. It might be a quick thing, or it might be a flashback or something. That's one of my biggest theories, at least that I'm holding on to. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But to me, as soon as we heard about the 4-year gap, and this was months ago, we could look back on old episodes. The 4-year gap is for Laurie.
Yeah.
The 4-year gap is for her to deal with the fact that Karen is dead. And in that article, I was so pumped up when I read the article because I was about to text Jake. I was like, we called it. like Laurie, and she even said it. Jamie Lee Curtis was quoted saying, and man, you know what? I gotta go back to one of our old episodes because I literally almost said the same thing. Do you remember? Do you guys remember this?
Can you pull up the clip?
Listen,
pull up the clip. Yeah.
So Jamie Lee Curtis said she's done the work. She did the therapy, so forth and so forth. And Jamie Lee Curtis said, and I'm paraphrasing, but pretty much quote saying she's not necessarily the positive young girl she was at 17, which was Halloween 78. But she is a more positive person. And I said almost the same exact thing, that this movie is going to depict her, at least for a good part of the movie, as totally the opposite of what we've seen. In other words, like her and Allison, and we still don't know specifically about Allison, but I had a feeling that Lori was going to be more positive in life, or at least trying to deal with the trauma and trying to let go. She was paranoid, she was obsessed, she was, all those things, and it destroyed her life, her family's life, and now she realizes that she has to let go. So I think those 4 years is really for her to heal from Karen, and also, like she said, she's doing the therapy. We've speculated, is she going to have a closer relationship with Hawkins, so forth and so forth and so forth. So that 4 years isn't really for Michael.
No,
It's really for
I
Lori's,
understand.
and I think that what I'm hoping, and of course this kind of, we don't know, but I'm hoping that Jamie Lee Curtis has some really good weighty moments, based off of that. Yeah.
But like I said, like I understand that it's for the progress of Jamie, but one, we're not going to see the progress. We're just picking up 4 years later. It sounds like, but still, like all of the open-endedness wasn't about Jamie. It was about Michael and the town and everything like that. That's my problem. Like if we had a conclusion to what happened, and and it picked up 4 years later, and say Jamie thought, or not Jamie, Lori thought, that Michael was dead or something like that. There was some like end result, like let's say they did the trap again, and this time like nobody came to rescue, so everyone in the town thought Michael was dead, but Michael just moseyed on into the woods or something like that. The town thinks all is good. Okay, I can understand that, but you didn't leave it like that. You left everything open-ended. You left us with an overly obsessed Jamie Lee. Why do I keep saying Jamie Lee? Laurie Strode. You left us with an overly obsessed Laurie Strode, who,
Right.
yes, it's possible for her to get over that stuff, but that stuff takes time. And her daughter was just killed, which I imagine she finds out at some point that night. And we're not going to get any of those answers. She just says, what, my daughter? She's overly obsessed to the point of like, nothing else matters but killing Michael. And her daughter was just killed by Michael. You have Allison who's ready to go to war with you. Hawkins, everything like this entire town behind your back. And you're just going to say, you know what, let's let it go, let bygones be bygones. That's not the character they built these last 2 movies. Like, I'm all for her being reformed and changed, but you should have concluded that arc of her and her obsession. And or Karen, maybe Karen survives. I don't think so, but maybe if she survived, that would make more sense. Like, look, I almost got my daughter killed. My family's safe. It's fine. But no, like you have this overly. If you're somebody that wants, like, say somebody kills your kid and just ruins your life, and you want revenge, and then another one of your kids is killed by the same person, you're not going to say, you know what, I shouldn't do the revenge. My third kid really needs. No, you're going to be even more obsessed because now
you're going to dress up like Ghostface. You're going to go after.
But hopefully they will, and of course, but we don't know. They may, and I'm sure it's not going to be like 25 minutes of the movie, but they might show her, maybe flashbacks, or maybe it'll start with that. The night Karen's dead, they ended kills with Hawkins saying, "It's not about you. We can't beat him with brute force. That's the wrong way." Yeah, all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. So, they might show her. I mean, she's writing memoirs, so that could be part of her therapy. And since they put that in the synopsis, that could be something that they show some scenes of. So, like I said, I think it could work. Obviously, it has to be executed correctly, but I think it could work because of the fact that it's for Laurie. And my whole thing, and what I still hope, I'm not sure though, but I hope that it gives Jamie Lee Curtis those moments to show, like at the dinner scene in 2018. That was fantastic stuff. That was a fantastic moment for Laurie Strode and for Allison too. And I'm hoping that we get some things similar to that to show her journey from total. She started to kind of come around on this obsession thing, but showing her go through that process on the spectrum of starting to try to let go, and even though she's writing memoirs and she's saying, moving past, the legacy of the shape, doesn't mean that she's fully, apples and ice cream. She could still have moments where she has a nightmare and wakes up and, or whatever, I don't know. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, that's how I'm interpreting the 4 years mostly, because this is going to be a much more intimate movie with Lori. We're going to see her like kind of overcoming everything. The thing is, though, I don't think it's going to be one of those movies where it's like clean slate. Lori is back to, oh yeah, everything's fine now.
Right.
I can live my life. I feel
Yeah.
like it's going to be more of a take on how trauma is just always gonna stick with you. Like, you can work as hard as you want to get over it, but it's like there's still that, like, it happened, it still lingers over you. It almost might be a metaphor for that, in a sense of like, maybe maybe it appears as if she's gotten better, but it still bothers her to this day. It's just something
Yeah.
she's gonna have to live with for the rest of her life. And Michael physically coming back too would be kind of a metaphor towards that. I would like that, honestly. I feel like that would be good storytelling and a good representation of what trauma does to people. I think that could be cool, but it's once again one of those things that I just feel like comes down to execution. If they don't do it or write it the right way, there's something that just feels faulty, doesn't feel focused. I could see it not working big time, but we'll just have to see on October 14th, I guess.
I just don't see the point of, like, why write yourself into this corner? Like, this shouldn't even be a point of discussion.
I would like to think when we see it, I would like to think that there'll be a moment where we say, okay, I get why they did it. You know what I mean? I would like to think that happened. It may not, and like
Look,
Jake
this
said, it
just
may not
proves
be.
even more that Kills shouldn't have been a movie. That's how
Stop it.
Oh,
It's
my
true.
God. Here we
It's true
go.
because
Not
look,
again.
if-
And then
okay,
Halloween
hang on.
2018 should have been 3.5 hours.
No, you could have made it like 2.5 hours, and then this one 2.5 hours. And they
I
just took the
disagree.
stuff.
I feel like they set up a lot of things in Kills to be finished off in this.
Yes,
this new
but it
movie.
doesn't sound like any of that stuff is going to be finished off. Like,
I
here's the
haven't
thing.
seen the movie yet. I don't know.
We don't know
we
that.
End
Come
up,
on.
if we end up when Halloween ends, and they just don't, like, they just brush over everything, pick up, and just carry on business as usual. Halloween Kills did not need to be that. Further cements that movie was pointless because you just left it, the whole thing, open-ended. The whole thing, like, there was not a definitive conclusive moment in that entire movie. And now
Not every
you
movie
now you're
needs something like that, though. I would argue that that's not a big deal. Doesn't always
but
need a
when it's a
conclusion.
continuation of your trilogy, it is.
Yeah, but
Like,
there's
if that
another
was-
movie. Like, if Halloween Kills was the last movie and it's just left off on that, I'd see being disappointed. But this is going to pick up 4 years after that, show you where our characters are in kind of a conclusive way, you know?
Yeah, but what happened to all the aftermath? Again, that's what I'm saying. Like, if
Another
this
thing that
movie-
I feel doesn't need to be explained. You know what I mean? It's one of those things like
you don't want to know, like, like, one of the biggest gripes we had was Sydney not getting a reaction to Dewey's death. We're not going to get a reaction to
two different
that's a whole
franchises.
different thing.
It's her
Yeah.
daughter that they established.
Oh,
What
man.
do you mean?
That's completely
No,
Like,
I
apples and
two
oranges.
totally yeah. Scream and Halloween
That's
are
her
only
daughter.
similar by subgenre, in my opinion. I have very different opinions on both
So
franchises.
you're okay with them just brushing over Karen's death? Like, that's her daughter.
No, they won't brush. They won't
They
brush
won't.
over that.
I don't think they will either. No.
I don't think they will.
They
All right,
will
let me ask-
absolutely
let me-
address that.
Let me
yeah.
ask you this. Let me just say this. I mean, again, I don't know. I could be 100% wrong, but it just seems to me that if there is no, like, if Lori doesn't mention my daughter died, and
I'm sure
and
there
they
was
don't.
something in therapy or something,
well,
but
that's-
I want
well,
to
that-
see a
well,
reaction.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is that it would really seem weird for her to just be like, yeah, Karen died, 4 years ago. Hey, what are we having for dinner, guys? You know what I mean? Like, I just can't imagine it's going to be like that. I just think that, and I don't know how they're going to do it, whether it's flashbacks or maybe it starts at that point and then it cuts to 4 years later. I have no idea, how they're going to do it. But I just can't imagine that they're going to write this movie or they have this movie set to go and Jamie Lee Curtis isn't going to acknowledge that Karen died and have some type of emotional reaction to that, in a scene or scenes. I just can't imagine that. Now,
But what is the
maybe
profound impact 4 years later? Like, what is the impact in that years and years later? Like,
You mean
it's
of
not the
of
same
Karen's
thing
death?
as in the moment. Like, like if it
But what if
picked
they
up-
start? What if they started off at the end of Kills or show the flashback?
Hopefully
to the
they
end of Kills?
do. Hopefully they do.
I don't think it's gonna.
That doesn't sound like what's gonna happen.
To me, I really like the idea, like going back to the whole not over explaining things. I feel like if you were to show us that, that's to me, that's similar to forcing the mother character of Sam and Tara into Scream 6, where I feel like there's just no reason to put her into this plot line about them going off to college, being their own independent people. Why would you force a mother character into that? That doesn't make any sense. It's the kind of the same thing with this. I feel like you can show the aftermath of that 4 years later, about how she's still dealing with her daughter's death, how she couldn't keep her safe, but she's gotten over it with therapy, maybe a little bit, but not quite there. And she still talks to Allison about it. There could be a scene where she breaks down crying. She appears to look all nice and stuff, much better than how she has in the past 2 movies, but on the inside, she still feels broken. That I feel like conveys everything I need to know about what happened in 2018 after that night, and basically what happened with Karen. It kind of tells you what happened, how Laurie is feeling about all of it 4 years later. I wouldn't want them to linger on something like that for too long, because that could eat up a lot of screen time where we could be having something else happen to progress the plot of this movie, and not stuff that's picking up the pieces from kills, I guess is my point.
And
Real
Chrissy,
quick,
you're all right.
Bearded coming in hot with the $4 Cash App. Thank you so much. He said, "What's up, you lovely people?" What is up, Bearded? Thank you so much. I
right.
really appreciate that. We
Thank
all
you,
do.
man.
Thank you,
We're
Eric.
wonderful. We're wonderful.
Yeah.
We're here. We're partying.
watching.
living
We're
our
thankful
best
for
life.
you, my good friend.
Yeah, very much. And thankful that we can finally give you guys an opportunity to give super chats, because you guys, I mean, seriously, it's been months that we've had multiple people requesting, can I send it to you? Can we do it? We're like, well, we'll have to wait.
Right.
Look, we never said our train rounds the track quickly, but it eventually does round the track. All right. And so we realized there's a way to do it all this time. So thank you, Eric. And for all of you out there who are just joining, excuse me, I see some new names. You see it on the screen. But yeah, if you ever wondered how you can do a super chat, you can do that now, simply using PayPal and Cash App right there on the screen. And you can send it to us. Fate gets the notification, and he'll read your question out just like a super chat. So thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Facts. But
Yeah.
I don't
Alright.
know. One thing that I will concede is that we don't know what the result's going to be. And until we actually see the movie, it's all just speculation. I just don't like what we're seeing in regards to the information that keeps being put out. It sounds to me like they're just going to pick up 4 years later. You might have an opening. I still think that original Michael Laurie scene that we saw is probably in the openings. It's probably, or at least somewhere in the beginning. I still think that could be the case, but I don't like the idea of all of this stuff from kills being just completely open-ended, and you're not addressing it. You might touch on a few things here and there as you go along, but that's not the same thing as explaining what happened. What are the events? It's just what happened to the town? What happened to Michael? What happened to Laurie that night? What happened to Karen, in the response? It's just so much that I feel like they're just gonna brush over and let go. And then it just looks like we're gonna have everything pick up 4 years later. All is gonna be right in the world. Yes, I do think Laurie is gonna be broken, but on the inside, but showing a face on the outside. The happiest people are usually the saddest type thing. I could see that happening. But I think that what's going to end up happening, because it sounds like we're not going to see Michael until he shows up. When are we going to get Michael? We going to get Michael at the last 20 minutes of the movie? And it's just Laurie, Corey, and Allison centric, with Lindsay sprinkled in a little bit. That's not the movie I want to see at the conclusion of a trilogy for a Halloween movie. Where
think about David Gordon Green's style. Think about how he writes Michael, and with these he'll throw in random side characters, this random scene out of nowhere. He sets it up the same way every single time. I love it personally. I've heard some people complain about this, but I dig it. He'll introduce you to some new characters. They'll be silly or lovable instantly, and then he'll kill them with Michael. And you'll never even see a main character interact with these people ever. It's kind of a nice little, it's a nice thing that he does that's really specific to his style, and I dig it in Halloween and Halloween Kills. I'm assuming he'll do the same thing here. I'm assuming we see Michael come from wherever. Maybe it's not really explained as he says, just some context clues. And then he goes around, starts killing people, getting back into Haddonfield just to kill on Halloween night. That's what the guy does. And then somehow they get together via Corey, is my guess. I do think it's going to be a much more exposition heavy film, though. I think there will be definitely less Michael, more telling as to what the fuck's going on with our characters, with Corey, with Lori, with fucking Allison, Hawkins, Lindsay, all of them. We'll probably do a lot of exposition with them at the beginning. Slower start than the last two films, but that's necessary here, just to fulfill all the things that you want to see there, Fate.
My problem is that, like, if this wasn't the end of your trilogy, I would be fine with it. But it like, this is when everything's supposed to be concluded, wrapped into a bow, and and it's hard enough to portray that. Like, I do agree with you, like Big John, Little John, like they were great, right? You got them for 30 seconds and then they're killed, right? Like it was, but they were memorable. They were prominent. It was great. I'm all for that. Like, I'm okay with that. I just think that how can I use PayPal? If you have a PayPal, if you use the it's just at Lethal Collective.
Lethal Collective.
Then you should see us. It's all of our like logos on the image, and then you can send whatever that amount would be that you'd want to send. Denisha. Oh, I think she sent it. Jennifer. Oh, no, it's this Jennifer Armstrong. Thank you so much.
Hey.
Super chats.
Thank you.
So happy we can send them. Heart, heart, heart. Thank you so much. Yes. Well,
Thank you, Jennifer.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, we figured until at least until we actually get super chats on this channel, PayPal and Cash App would be the best route. Even also just for everybody, because we're all community here, we're all family, so we can be honest with you guys. Even if we do get super chats, we would prefer if you did the Cash App and PayPal route, if you did want to give us super chats, just because it's not as much. You got to think YouTube takes their cut, and then we still have to pay taxes on this amount, stuff like that. So, like, say you gave us, so we did the math. If you gave us $100 super chat, like a super chat for $100, we only get like $11 each, which is crazy to think about off of $100 super chat. Granted, there's 4 of us and we got to split it. But if you did the same $100 through like PayPal or Cash App, we'd get like $17 each, which again isn't a ton, but it's one of those things. But yeah, thank you so much, Jennifer, for the $5 super chat. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. That's very kind of you.
And just to let Denisha know, go one step further back, to actually send it, right, Fate, you would just send the send button, right? And then
so like
put
there
in
should
the
be
address.
so like you click send, if off the top of my head, you click send or send money, whatever it is, and then it'll have like where you could search somebody, search at Lethal Collective, that'll pop up. You'll see our images, you click on that, and then it'll prompt what you want to add. You could add whatever, and then you could leave a little comment, as Jennifer did, or just leave a little comment if you have a question, something like that, or if you just want to say anything, that same thing. So I appreciate you all. Thank you.
Absolutely.
But train of thought was like the characters, stuff like that, introducing new characters, like I'm fine. Like, it's just my problem is that this is the conclusion of a trilogy. Like, like if you had 18, Halloween Kills was like, more of like the story element. You had the buildup of these characters, you gave the explanation, stuff like that. You kind of round it out. Even if you leave it open-ended, you inherently solve a lot of the questions just through the character development and growth. And then you conclude your story in the trilogy at the end of the trilogy. It's like cool. But I feel like this is going backwards. I feel like you had 18, which was the establishment. You established the characters. Kills was the Michael Myers story, which was great. And then you're going to have...
Whoa. Fucking stop the tracks.
Rewind that for a second.
Man's just admitted that Halloween Kills was great.
It was great.
Caught you in 4K, bro.
Wow.
I said it's great. I said that would be great.
It was great.
It was great.
Halloween Kills was terrible.
Oh, you
Oh,
man, can't
man.
retract that statement, dog.
No.
What did I say? I said if they would have done this, it would have been great. Did they do that?
Man,
No, they didn't because they're
I heard what you
trash.
heard, Jay.
Okay,
I
trash.
heard what I heard, man.
Exactly. You
That
heard
is
what
on the
you
internet
heard.
forever.
Timestamp that one,
man.
Carrie.
Back to what I was saying is that no, I feel like they're going backwards. Like if Kills would have been the establishment film, and now you're doing this. The problem is you had the Michael Myers, greatest hits. Okay, cool. Like that was great. The Michael Myers greatest hits. There you go. You happy? So you had the greatest hits. The movie, that doesn't mean the movie was good. It just means Michael Myers killing people was great. And then now it looks like they're gonna we gave you the Michael movie, so here's less Michael and here's all the other characters. But this is Halloween. We want to see Michael. We want to see the kills. If I wanted a fucking drama, I'd watch a drama movie. This is a Halloween movie.
That's such a bad take. I'm sorry.
I'm all for storytelling.
I'm sorry.
I'm all
Such a
for
bad take.
storytelling. I'm all for this, that, the other. What was so great dialogue wise in Halloween Kills?
Are we
Oh my
rehashing
god, the
this
hospital
again?
scenes with Allison and Lori just to start, the scene with Hawkins and Lori going back and forth.
How many
I'm
scenes
saying-
were that in that entire movie, and how many minutes?
Well, that's two I've listed
five?
so far. Karen,
Five?
dude, there's this subtle scene where Karen goes to wash her hands and she's shaking her hands and
Yes.
she's wiping
Yeah.
all the blood off.
I
And it's
remember
like,
that.
some of it's her own fucking husband's blood. Like, that didn't just bring a tear to your, I don't know. To me, that was so emotional.
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
thought-
no
Judy
dialogue.
Greer,
and
listen, let me just say this
Fuck,
real quick,
man.
and I know I've said this before, but I can say it again. I think Judy Greer was fantastic in Kills. That
Yeah,
Kills,
great.
Kills was an arc for Karen. Because in 2018, and I know that's the way she was supposed to be played, but in 2018 she was annoying. She didn't believe, in the boogeyman. She went through the training because her mother made her, but she never really bought into it, and so forth and so forth. So we get that. In Kills, you literally saw someone. It was almost, and it wasn't the same. I don't get this twisted. I'm not saying it's like how Lori came to believe in the boogeyman in 78, at the end when she said it was the boogeyman. What I'm saying is it was kind of like a different variation on that, because Karen, she realized, hey, this shit is real. This is really what he is. And she saw how Michael and that evil infects people, how it makes them become vigilantes or make them, acting crazy and so forth and so forth. And I think when she saw that, and I'm not trying to get too deep, but I think when she saw that, she was seeing a reflection of her own life, seeing her own mother through all of those years, but like, no, shoot the gun again, learn how to shoot and this and that. And I mean, those are the little things, and maybe I just go too deep with it, but those were some of the little things I was getting from Karen, even though she wasn't saying those things in multiple scenes, almost like she really came to understand her mother almost more than anything else. So I think that was some fantastic stuff from Judy Greer specifically. I think Andy Matichak had some good moments too. But like
But
you
what
said too, Jake.
My point is,
Go ahead.
what is Kills? Kills isn't a dialogue-driven movie. That movie was about Michael Myers running through people, killing people. Like you had
part of it is, yeah.
You had
Part
a
of it
handful.
is.
90% of the movie was. You had a handful of scenes of
No.
dialogue. What
I
was
think
the
a big.
story- what was
Well,
the
let me tell you.
storytelling in that
Well,
movie?
let me tell you. It was showing how a town can be infected by evil and become just sons of bitches wanting to kill anything that moves. That was almost as big as
Yes,
Michael's
which isn't
rampage.
dialogue, which is like again the whole point of Kills was to just slaughter through everybody. And you guys love that movie. Like,
It's not just that. That's why we love it though, because it's not just that. And I think after first watch, I could see having that take, but like looking
Yeah.
deeper into it, man, like there's just so much going on story wise. Like they set up, like Hawkins was a pretty decent character in Halloween 2018, but I think without Halloween Kills, I wouldn't care about him as much. I probably wouldn't
Right.
even know him by name. It's like, oh yeah, the police officer guy, cool, yeah. But because of Halloween Kills, all the stuff with the backstory, that entire flashback scene, which may be my favorite part of Halloween Kills, I couldn't do without that at this point. Like that because of that, it really elevated the storytelling of everything that happened in 2018 and progressed it further. It does its job. It like listen, I'll give you this. It is a very clunky film. It's all over the place. And a lot of people don't like that. I personally don't like the ending either. I think they kind of had me personally. I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. And then you get to that mob scene at the end, and it kind of falls apart for me. But I love the rest of it. I really think that there's a lot of great, deep emotional storytelling beneath that schlocky, gory kill fest that it's presented as. It's so much more than that, which is why I appreciate it.
Can I just interrupt for one quick second, Jake? I'm sorry. I'll let you finish saying, but I just want to reiterate. This is becoming my usual speech on the Lethal Collective and on the Nightwatch Zone. No spoilers. And when we say no spoilers, it doesn't mean just story moments or whatever. It means whether you liked it or not. It also means if it's better than any other movie or not. It also means your reaction to it, whether it's excited or cool or neutral or whatever. No spoilers, period. And it's really a shame that I'm speaking for myself. I'm not speaking for these three, but I'm speaking for myself right now. But I think it's really a shame that people they talk about spoiler type of shit. Like, we don't want to know that until we see the movie. We're big fans of movies, just like you guys that are watching. I don't want to know if you liked something that you saw before me. I want to experience it myself first, and then we can talk about it together. So I just want to say it one more time. And Carrie and Val and Jen, if someone else does that again, and you guys could tell me if you agree with it or not, but I think they should be, sent out of the chat.
Anyone to claim, if you claim to know spoilers, people have seen the film at this point, so we kind of have to block you. Like, it's not like, even if you were joking or something, I'm sorry, but there's just a no spoiler policy over here or on our separate channels too.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's been enough people to see the movie that actually know.
Right.
Like, I mean, the
So-
entire movie's online. So,
Right.
like,
But I don't know the entire movie yet, and
No, me
neither do
neither. Yeah,
you
none
guys.
of us
And
do.
plus, a lot of people that watch our channel. So again, I don't want to know if what you saw makes you like it more than another movie or like it less, because again, that gives some indication on what the movie is. I want to go into this movie and enjoy it, and either like it or not like it on my own without anything else. What was that, Steven?
There's a comment from the grabber that claiming they basically are claiming the ending. They're spoiling the ending of the Halloween ends right now, and I don't know if it's true or not, but this needs to get taken down. It's at 5:15 Central, and
Carrie or Val or Jen, can you guys take care of that, please?
yeah, I don't know. We don't know if it's real or not. But they say they saw it at test screening, and they're just ruining the ending of the movie. So I don't want to see that. Or too bad I already did. Too bad. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry for any of you guys that saw that here that didn't want to. But not acceptable and not cool, man.
Yeah.
This is not your house. If you want to spoil movies, go start a channel. Knock yourself out.
See how far that gets you.
Yeah, have fun.
Go fucking do that. Yeah, hell yeah.
But
Well,
the grabber actually gave specific scene points. And that's not cool.
Yeah, don't
and again, spoiling it also means whether you liked it or not. I don't want to know if you liked it or not. I want to see
Right,
it myself,
exactly.
make that decision, and then me and you or whoever else that has seen it can talk about whether we liked it or not. So again, we try to do this, guys, so we can talk about things. We're talking about theories and speculation, hopes, fears, and concerns, but nothing that is actually confirmed in the movie.
Yeah.
So again,
We
we've
don't
said
know
this 1,000 times, and I guess we're gonna have to keep saying it 1,000 more. And I'm showing my own frustration. These three, this has, but I'm just saying we shouldn't have to
with
keep
you.
saying that to folks. We
Yeah.
really shouldn't. And
Be kind and courteous
Hey,
to all.
exactly.
Come on, we're all in this.
You
And
know.
look, I know other channels. I know like Beyond the Mask spoiled all the kills and stuff. I mean, I haven't seen the video because I don't want to, but I know him and many others are, spoiling it. And look, that's their channel. So if they want to do that, that's fine. But
Sure.
we're not doing that here. You know what I mean?
And and I'm sorry, let me just jump in real quick. Just to answer that, Chucky, Callum was talking about whether he liked it or not. And again, that's a spoiler, and we don't want that. Period.
He also said there were plenty of kills. If you were,
We don't want to know that.
That was out
I
there
don't
by
want to know
Callum
how
as
many
well.
there were.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. So just one more time so that everyone can understand, we got 80 people in here. No spoilers on the Lethal Collective or the Nightwatch Zone, by the way. I don't want to know until I see it. And I'm sure these three guys feel the same. So just to put that out there again,
Yeah.
no spoilers. Nothing.
Facts.
Okay,
Yeah.
sorry, Jake.
Yeah.
All good. All good. Well, to get us back on track, though, we do have some new images I wanted to discuss as well to kind of get us on a
Okay.
new tirade. Now,
Yeah, I
these
got 'em.
are, you got those?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what's fascinating about some of these, I'll just give a quick little take of what I took away from these. They all appear to be at the same location, would be my guess. And when we see this shot of Michael specifically attacking Lori, which I don't know if you have that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see out the window, it appears to be daytime, maybe early morning, which I
Yes.
find fascinating. Is this going to be a sequence where maybe it's some kind of like a resurrection for Michael? Because as you can see, Lori already has cuts on her face. It looks like maybe she is already battle weary. Maybe she's like already killed Michael or thought she did. And then Michael followed her home and now is trying to attack her. What another thing that's fascinating too is from these other two photos we got, we see Michael at first with just a little bit of blood on his knife, but then he's got a lot of blood in the other photo. So there you go. Look at that blood-soaked knife.
Right.
Tell me what's going on there. Also, that
red.
wallpaper, that wallpaper we've seen Miss Jamie JLC in front of at one point in a different shot from a TV spot. So she's been here at some point and maybe gets stabbed. I hope that's not her blood, but
Right.
I don't know. How do you guys feel about all these images though?
Well, one, they're fantastic images. As soon as I saw those, I was just like, wow. I mean, this is
Yeah.
great stuff. I mean, again, I don't want to go too far off on this, but like I said, in these movies, I think the way that they've filmed and shot the scenes with Michael, with all the characters, but obviously Michael's the star of this thing. They just look fantastic. He just looks great. Everything looks good. The lighting, the shading on the mask, and all of that. So I think these images look great, and it definitely gives a little bit of, I don't know. It gives you some. I've got some thoughts and theories about this. It definitely raises some questions. How about you guys? What do you think of it?
I mean, the pictures. I think the pictures are. I mean, they're just enough, right? They're to get us. Yeah, Anna, let me address that real quick because these comments. We have all these people in the comments that are crying because we have these rules. Look, you don't have to be here. People are talking about like, oh, how are we supposed to? The movie hasn't even came out yet. Like,
Right.
what are you talking about? Your logic is irrelevant. Like, I don't like if you want to go talk somewhere else, go talk somewhere else. We haven't seen the movie. The movie hasn't came out yet. If you don't like how we feel about it, too bad. Start your own channel and talk about it. Quit crying in our chat. We're trying to have a good stream. We're trying to have a good chat. The movie hasn't even came out yet. If you don't like it, go message him and go start a channel with them. Okay? Like, quit crying in the chat. I don't need to read an entire chat about people like, oh, we can't even talk about how we like the movie. The movie hasn't even came out for another month. What are you guys talking
absolutely.
about? Like, relax. Just sit down. Enjoy the show. Like, you guys are adults. You guys are grown people. We're not a family channel sitting here with a bunch of kids. Like, come on, get it together. You guys are a bunch of whiners, man. Seriously, let's go. Back to the stream. Like, God, it's just like the entire chat is quit crying. Like the movie hasn't came out yet. God, bunch of
the other thing
God.
too is that everyone is well aware that the test screenings, like that was a small percentage of people that saw it. So obviously, even in this live chat, there's a huge percentage of people that have no clue what's going on, except for maybe what they've seen in the trailer or maybe what they've heard here and there. So again, just try to be courteous to those people as well. We don't want to be spoiling things for people. And if we were talking about a new movie, like we've done in the past with like Scream 5 and so forth and so forth, we let people know that we are going to be talking about spoilers. So
exactly.
Yeah.
It's just it makes no logical sense to me that like the movie we're a month away from the movie and people are crying that we're not talking about spoilers in the live stream. People haven't seen the movie. Give people time. Those same people crying are the same people that if we spoiled something for them would be like, why are you spoiling the movie? Like, God, like you've never seen a movie. You don't know how this works. It's ridiculous. Like it is.
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
like I said, it is. It's frustrating that we have to keep acting like parents to these people. Like, come on, we're in a chat. Like you what? You're new to the internet? Like, come on, God. Anyway. Let's go. Let's get back into it.
Let's see if we can go the rest of the way without anyone talking
Yeah.
about this anymore. We'll see.
So what were you saying, Fate?
The images. So when it comes to the images,
Oh yeah, yeah.
the
Yes.
see, I could go on rants and still keep track. Come on, we can do
Right.
that. Yes, that's right. Raise those numbers. Like this video. Look, we just want to have a good stream. That's all it is. That's it.
That's right.
That's all we want is a good time. It's just
And we've got almost 100 people here.
yeah.
We've
it's
got
great.
88 people in the chat right now. Let's have fun, guys. Let's
That's
have
what
a
it's
good
all
time.
about. We want you to enjoy yourself. We want you to hang out. We want you to have a good time. But we want everybody to be able to do that, not just you as an individual. Like we're here as a collective. That's why it's called the collective, because it's
Right.
all of us, not just the four of us up here. It's everyone in the chat, everyone in the streams. Like we want to be able to enjoy, have fun conversations and not ruin things for other people, and that's why we do it live. So it's a real time interaction rather than, having to go through chats and comments and stuff like that. That's what it's all about. So let's have a good time. Come on, let's enjoy it. Let's be responsible. Let's be courteous. It's not that hard of a concept, but
Yeah, and
images.
again, yeah, let's get back to it because we probably got about another 15 minutes. So unfortunately, we spent a lot of time, about something that we shouldn't even really have to address. So
Yeah, let's get into it. But yeah, so the images, look, it's nice to be able. I still think that first, not the three recent ones that we just got. Like I still think that first image that we talked about was Friday. I think that image was really cool. Yeah, that one. There you go. Like I thought this image is cool, and I think that's very telling that that's not Michael Myers. Just because again, like I talked about, like you got the slash. Like his MO is to kill people and move on, right? He's not toward at least this installment. Yes, there's other movies where he's a little more like take my time, methodical, but like in this adaptation, it seems like he's like more like boom, you're dead, and so I think that this could be a telling sign that isn't the real Michael Myers. And then for the newer images, the newer ones that we got, I think that those images it's just a nice little, like, here you go. Here's Michael. Here's a little teaser of what to expect.
Right.
They're not very telling. They're all just like him just kind of standing there. You can kind of see the burns and like the dirt and stuff like that. Not just that, but these ones, like these images, the jacket or the jumper or whatever that he's wearing is a lot more dirtier, it looks like, and like water damage and stuff like that, as opposed to the previous image where you see Michael that looks like he's like, stabbed. Like you don't see like that. Like it looks just cleaner to me. And maybe it's just the image, maybe it's just the lighting, maybe it's things like that. But it does. It looks
Right.
it looks a lot cleaner to me. And even the mask looks a lot cleaner to me than those previous ones. You know what I mean? So
Yep.
Yeah, that's the one image that ever since I saw it, I'm just not convinced that's Michael. I'm really not convinced that's him. I don't.
What
I
about
don't
that?
think it is.
What about that has you guys feeling that way? Because nothing about this screams that to me. I'm just curious. Like, no.
I mean, the mask looks real clean.
that's what I'm saying. It does.
It looks so white. I mean, that looks. I mean, I honestly, that's what jumped out to me. First of all, it doesn't look like it's aged or worn. It doesn't look dirty. It looks pretty clean. And then the way he's holding the knife, even, it's like he's punching her in the shoulder. It's I don't know. Now maybe he's in the middle of I don't know what. This is obviously a still shot, but
Right.
I just when I looked at this doesn't. I don't know that that's him. And of course, they will never show us the left side. They're being
Right.
They're being
Yep.
really smart on the hiding the
Okay,
left side
I-
on everything.
I see what you're
Because
saying.
They want us to guess. But for me, Jake, I mean, I don't know about Fate or you guys, most things, but for me, it's the biggest thing is the mask looks way too clean, and I think that the way he's holding the knife and I don't know, it just doesn't look Michael-ish to me. But again, I'm totally wrong, but that's my feelings on it. I think it may be the copycat.
Well, I definitely think this scene right here, it is hard to tell for sure. But I do hear what you guys are saying. That you Stephen and Fate are saying, because just a couple different things. You know what I mean? But
Mm-hmm.
this scene though, I'm thinking that's Michael.
Yeah, he's got the mold on the one side.
Well,
of his
that's
face.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. These pictures, these photos look
Yeah.
like that. That I believe is Michael. I think that looks like Michael to me. But that first photo, it just everything just looks cleaner, and just all of that. I don't know. Maybe I'm over analyzing the photos, but that's just what it looks like. And granted, they could just be promotional photos. They might not even be scenes from the movies or parts of the movie or stuff like that. Like I even saw somebody was like, the knife looks like a prop in that one picture, which it very well could be. You know what I mean? It's just like, if we're going on the assumption that those are actually scenes or moments from the movie, that where the girl's getting, tortured, that one looks just a lot cleaner of a Michael than the other one, where it's like, he, you see the mold, you can see the mask, you see everything.
Right.
You know what I mean? So,
Yep. Absolutely.
Okay,
Well,
one more
well.
thing, and I know we're probably going to wrap up soon, but how do you guys feel about the mold on the mask? Because I can't believe how divisive it is online. Like, I immediately thought it was pretty cool. Yeah, no, I see people who are like, this is awful. This is a disgraceful design. Why does it look like this? I think it's really inventive and really cool. I think it's totally different. I like the white mold. I thought it was kind of dope, honestly. It makes me think it's just been sitting somewhere for like 4 years, and Michael puts it back on to go kill again. I think that's awesome to me. That's way more detail than this third movie in this kind of trilogy deserves. I think it's awesome. I love it.
Yeah, I don't think that's anything. Oh, real quick, and on Jennifer Armstrong coming in hot with the $10 PayPal. Thank you so much.
Woohoo. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
This channel is fantastic, and I enjoy it more and more every day. Keep doing your amazing stuff, gentlemen. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Jennifer.
you. Really
Thank you.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the kindness. We appreciate you.
Yes, appreciate you very much.
Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's all I had to say. I just want to hear what you guys feel about Moldy Mask. How do we feel about Moldy Mask?
Well, I
kinda,
think that
it's what it's expected.
yeah, well, maybe.
I mean, he's gonna be living somewhere, right? Like he's not.
Yeah.
I don't think he's living in a mansion somewhere, just hanging out. Like, so he's got to be in a cave dweller, stuff like that. He's got to be in, I'd imagine, a cave or something like that.
I mean, I think it just, like I said, I think it's just more of the evolution of this Michael. And again, I think it's and I know I've said this before, but it's true. Keeping some consistency with Michael, and I'm just talking about Michael, as far as his look, the mask, the wounds, all this type of stuff. I mean, we've rarely seen this level of care and respect as far as that's concerned. We've seen some crappy ass masks over the course of the franchise. We've seen things that didn't make sense. The outfit was a little bit of a different color and all these different types of things. So I think that it's a cool evolution of what happened after Kills. He had the burns, and he had a bunch of blood on him when he went through Haddonfield killing everyone. So things dry up, they get old, sticky, moldy, dirty, grungy looking, and I think it's really cool, to be quite honest. I like it.
Yeah, me too. I like it. I'm a fan of it.
Yeah. One last little thing I wanted to talk about real quick. It's not Halloween Ends related, but I finally saw Nope last night.
Oh, no way. Really? What'd you think?
Wow.
I still have not seen it. I
didn't like it. Oh,
Didn't
you
like
still haven't
it.
seen it, Craven?
Nope.
Okay,
I have not
so
seen it. I
will-
can take off my headphones if you want to talk about it.
Well, I don't know how many people have still not seen it, so I don't want to ruin it for people. But just, I wasn't big on it.
Yeah.
Okay. I've heard
people
mixed. I've heard pretty mixed reviews. Honestly, I've heard a lot of people thought it was kind of what they wanted. Others thought it wasn't. Others thought it was maybe a little bit overhyped and stuff. But I really want to see it. I'm very anxious.
I didn't think it was terrible. I wasn't like, it was just like, I'm glad I saw it. Like, I'm not like, it's not one of those movies where I was like, man, it was a waste of time. Like, no, I mean, I'm glad I saw it, but it's not something I'd watch again. It's nothing. Like, the movie was fine. It just wasn't like, it just was little. Yeah, never mind. Let me leave it at that.
It's not as focused
Gotcha.
as his other two movies.
Yeah,
I'll give
that's a
you
good way to
that.
put it.
Like
Yeah.
Yes,
I
that's
still
true.
just really enjoyed how creative and out there it was, opposed to everything else, out there. I that's what I really enjoyed about it, and I thought that was the characters. I think were great too. They were really fun. I don't know. I had a good time with it, but I get it.
Yeah.
It's definitely moved down on my list. Like I put out my top 10 lists of the year so far yesterday. And Nope was I think Nope is coming in at like number 5 or 6 for me now. Where I think in the past I would have put it maybe at like 3 or 2 or 3. Now it's like kind of a little lower after seeing it 3 times.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I still like it though. It's absolutely
Yeah,
worth a
I
watch.
do too.
Like for sure.
No,
Yeah, I
it
agree.
was definitely a movie that you got to see at least once. I mean, I thought it had its highlights and stuff, but yeah, it wasn't as focused as his other movies. Like, that was
Okay.
a good way to put it.
But if you want a good focused movie, go see Barbarian. Holy
I know, I
shit.
need to see that. I really want to see that.
Yeah,
I really want to see
I
that.
want to
Yes.
see that one too.
I
Yeah.
haven't
Yeah, me
seen
too.
storytelling done like that ever. Like it is so interesting how that movie flows. I love it. Oh
Yeah,
God.
man, I'm telling you, and I just saw it on Saturday night. And Lightning Ghost was asking about that. I was waiting to see if we get to it before we headed out here, but I loved the hell out of that movie, man. It was like you said, Jake. It went through some different turns and twists, and I was like, "What? Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah, like
And-
30-minute mark, you're just like, what? No,
Right?
you cannot cut away from that. What?
Yes,
Holy
yes.
shit. Yeah. Oh my
Yes.
God. So
and
good.
I think it's a good example, and I'm going to be doing a video on it too. But I think it's a good example of how a lot of people in the horror community, and we've talked about it ourselves too. We want to have some fresh takes. We want some new things thrown out there. We want to see new possibilities and angles. And this is a movie that is a great example of that. And I think it's done okay over the weekend. I can't remember what I thought I heard, 10 million or something like that so far. Something
Yeah,
like that.
it's doing decent for a horror movie,
And it's
so.
good word of mouth. So I just hope that if everyone who does go to the theaters or planning to support this movie, man, because it's
They
definitely
didn't
cool.
market it very heavily, which was
They are
surprising.
now though. They are now.
Yeah, well,
they
yeah,
weren't
because
a
now
week
it's starting
ago.
to gain some stem
Right.
or some steam. I mean, stem.
Yeah,
It's starting to
and
gain
some STEM.
steam.
Well, that's
That's
so
insane.
fascinating. I posted my video about it like Friday, and I will absolutely read that, Carrie, because I could talk about that film for days. So what's so interesting is I posted a review of it last Friday, and just now it's starting to pick up some steam. So more people are seeing. I think more people saw it this weekend, and now they're going to see it. They're like, oh shit, this is something special. Maybe I think it will be my favorite horror film of the year. I don't know if anything's gonna top that.
Yeah, it was really, really good. I mean, and well, I won't even say it, but the theater reactions were interesting too. I'll just put it like that. It was a good movie.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I agree, Ty. It wasn't predictable. That's for sure. I'm telling you, it's crazy.
The needle
All right.
drop at the end of the movie too, the song. I'm sorry. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like
Yeah.
perfect. Like the cherry on top of this shit Sunday. I love it. Oh my God. So good.
Real quick
Sorry.
before we sign out, we only have 47 likes, and we have what 77 people.
77
Wow.
people
In the
watching
stream.
with.
And
Wow,
out of
guys.
77 people, I guarantee you there are some that aren't subscribed. So subscribe to the channel
Guarantee it.
also. Subscribe to the
Yes.
channel. Like this
Absolutely.
video. Let's at least get to 70.
That
Let's
would
at least
be
get to
nice.
70 likes, and let's help us get that subscriber count up. Absolutely. You have no idea the power of the like button when it comes to channels like this.
The power of the like.
The
button.
power. of the
Power.
like. That is
If
the real
only you
arena power.
knew.
Yeah.
Oh
That
God.
is the real arena power.
Oh,
Is
no.
the power of the like button. But no, subscribe to the channel, like the video. If not, what are you doing? What are you
Yes.
doing?
That's right. We're on our journey to
Yes.
1,000 subs. We're
getting
822. So
Yes,
You
and we are
23
literally
now.
scratching and fighting and clawing, and
I'm
it-
telling you, man.
and people that have watched us long enough, they know because they see us on all the time, and they're probably wondering, how do you guys do it? It's hard work, guys. It
Yeah.
really, really is. So if
Yes,
you
it
could
is.
give the video a like and subscribe, check our stuff out. That'd be much appreciated.
824. Josiah said, I just subscribed and liked
Hey.
loving this channel. Thank you,
Appreciate
Josiah.
it.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank
Thank
you,
you.
thank you.
Yes, yes, and yeah, And hopefully, usually we don't have to babysit the chat. So usually
No, that's
usually
very
the streams
unusual.
are a lot more. We don't have to dedicate 10 minutes to telling people to relax. But so hopefully that's not that's a normal, not a normal thing. Yeah, we haven't really had to do that. I don't think
No.
ever on this channel. I mean, we've had to
Not
do
like
that
that.
Not like
in our
that,
individual
man.
channels.
That was something, man.
Yeah, that was
What are you
crazy.
gonna do?
Okay,
Yeah,
we're
I don't think I've ever had to
73
like.
oh, well, actually,
do that
76
period.
watching. 76 watching, 53 likes.
Yeah.
I mean,
At one point, we were at 91. We got up to
91.
91.
That's
I
awesome.
had never
That's
seen us get up that
incredible.
high.
That's
So-
our highest we've had ever since the channel
Yeah,
started.
hands down.
Yep.
That's
yeah, hands down.
fantastic. Well, let's get to 60 likes. We need 6 more to get to 60.
Yes.
So we've got 5 minutes to get 6 likes.
And then, like I said, subscribe. Help us get to that 1,000
That's the big
subscribers.
one.
That would be amazing.
Right. Yes.
Amazing. We're only 176 away from 1,000. That's
Yep.
doable. We can do it like
Yeah,
that.
it is.
Yeah,
So, we would appreciate
176.
it.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Thanks, Denisha.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We appreciate all of you. But yeah, any closing comments, suggestions, things like that?
The hype is real, for Halloween Ends, man. The hype is real, and
Appreciate you.
I'm really excited about it. And thanks, Mr. Rick.
Nice.
But yeah, I'm really excited for it, and I can't wait. I can't wait to see it in the theaters and see what happens.
Facts.
Yeah,
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here before we know
I
it.
want
So
it to
guess
be a
the-
good movie.
yeah.
Well,
Go ahead. What were we going to say, Chris?
We all do. No, I was just gonna say the big question is, now that it's the Monday the 12th, are we gonna get a trailer by this weekend, or are they gonna just do another little TV spot in a week or two? What do you think?
What do you
I'm
think, Jake?
really expecting another trailer. Like, I'd
I
be
am
kind
too.
of shocked, if they didn't. And with David Gordon Green saying all this in that magazine, which, in my opinion, I feel like maybe he gave us a little too much with that quotes. I feel like we're definitely going to get a second trailer that we're all going to be pissed about. And it's just going to be like, why would they put that in there?
Right.
But I can feel it coming on. The big thing for me, though, and I hate to change the subject, where the fuck is the Hellraiser trailer? Dude, that thing comes out in less than a month.
Right?
Oh
So,
my
like, I
gosh.
cannot stress that enough. What are they doing? Like, please, Hulu, whoever.
Maybe they don't. Do you think that they don't? Because I mean, like even some Netflix. I mean, Netflix has gotten more into trailers than before, but they used to not release trailers with their movies.
Yeah.
Right, but like this is the continuation to a huge not one of the biggest, but a huge horror franchise.
Yeah.
You'd think they'd put out at least like a trailer. Like Orphan First Kill at least got a poster and a trailer from
Yes.
Paramount Plus. It's kind of, I'm like, dude, it's the 12th. I mean, that thing comes out in less than a month. What's going on? Crazy stuff, man. Crazy
Good
stuff.
point.
That is.
Good point. But let me
Go ahead.
let me also ask you this too, Jake. So you're thinking we're going to get another Halloween Ends trailer? Not to go back and forth, but do you think it's going to be by the end of next week? If it comes out?
Probably. I would. That's what I would assume. Well, they might do a final trailer right before its release. Like, how they did that. I think they did that with Kills and the new Scream. They did like a trailer like maybe a month before, like a second trailer a month before, and then a final trailer the week of.
Yeah.
That's kind of my guess now, because I guess it is coming.
Tuesdays and Thursdays are usually trailer days, so maybe we get a trailer tomorrow.
Maybe tomorrow. I could see it happening.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
so that's something out there. But real quick, another thing to touch on. What are your thoughts on Peacock about Halloween Ends going to Peacock? I don't think we've touched on that.
Well, we've talked a little bit about it, haven't we? But I mean, we can
yeah.
talk about it more.
Yeah, we touched a little bit on it.
Yeah.
I'm one of the ones that am a fan of it. I know some people aren't. I think it's really cool, and I figure that I'm not too worried about, because some people say, well, they're going to cost themselves money. But I thought to myself, well, hold on a minute. Remember, they're making this calculated decision, so it's not like they're going to be surprised by that, because they got these business analysts, these executives. They know that if they have to know now after doing Kills what the averages are. So they're
Right.
like, okay, we're willing to accept lower box office numbers because we did it with Kills. We were happy with that performance, obviously, because they were doing it again. So in my mind, I'm okay with it. I'm not worried at all. I don't think this will have any impact on the next round of movies, because the studio is the one that made the decision, not a third party or something.
Right.
The people that made the movie said, you know what, we can afford to dual drop this thing. We're ready for that. We're insulated for that. So in my mind, in terms of like being concerned about future movies, I'm not at all. I think that it's a cool move. So I'm all in the dual release camp for me.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, Longfish.
Hey, Longfish,
Howdy,
how are
howdy.
Hey,
That's a long fish indeed.
how long is that fish?
That's the question of the hour, I guess. Just to throw my 2 cents in there real quick, I think that the Peacock thing is kind of just to be like, hey, remember we got this streaming service? You should come over and check it out. Give us your money
right.
so that you can see it again at home.
Yeah.
I get it. I get why they're doing it. Will it detract from the box office? I mean, like, maybe, but I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal. Like, I see people saying, oh my God, this thing's not even going to make 100 million and all that. I think it makes at least 100 million. I think at least.
I think so too.
I do
Yeah.
understand people's thoughts of this movie not doing as good because a lot of people didn't like Kills. It's a third installment in a film. Those usually don't do as good as like, you know, the first or second installment. And now it's on Peacock, but I still think it at least breaks 100 million. I don't think it'll make less than that. I mean, you get a lot of people that are going to watch this movie, but
Ty had a great point about the separate cut. I love that idea about doing
I
a
do
separate
too.
cut on Peacock. I don't like. I know some people are like, "Oh, well, they're just doing that to get you to buy the Peacock subscription." Maybe, but like releasing basically 2 movies at the same time,
or like an
that's kind of
alternative
cool.
ending,
with
ending or something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I'm like that would be
Yeah.
pretty sweet to me. In my
Hey, you
opinion.
take my money. You know what I mean? Like you could always do the free trial. You know,
Pretty
Like,
much.
But no,
That's right.
from the Peacock perspective, because I've like waited from like just like a money finance perspective, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But from like from a because if you're just talking box, you want to make as much lucrative of a film as possible, but it also depends on what they have worked out for Peacock. Like, let's say Peacock gave them, say, $30 million to go in. You have that guaranteed 30 million, as opposed to like this movie may or may not, do well. So that way, at least if like say for whatever, I don't think this will happen, but let's say the movie is a total disaster and it I don't know what the budget is for this movie, but let's say it's 50 million. I know it's probably nowhere close to that, but just for easy numbers, let's say it's 50 million. This movie only makes like 40 million, or let's say it does make the 50 million and they break even. Well, they have that guaranteed money from, the streaming service that kind of balances out. That could be a possibility. Or the long term. I don't just do because Peacock is owned by what? Is CBS?
And
Universal.
NBC.
Universal,
which
is
is
Universal.
NBC, and then which is owned by Universal.
Universal.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so maybe they're looking at it as like we'll generate more long-term money as opposed to instead of getting somebody for $10 one time for a ticket, we get somebody 10 times for even say 3 months of a streaming service. Now we made $30 as opposed to 10. So
I think you're exactly right. I think that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Because like I said, just at first glance, like from a finance standpoint, that's a terrible idea. Why would you dual split it? Unless like their logic is like, hey, we're gonna make money off of this regardless.
They probably did make a bunch of money off of like Halloween Kills.
There's no way they did this again if Halloween Kills didn't make money. There's no if it was a disaster and they just did it and it was like they got like 1 million free trials and like 900,000 people like immediately didn't renew up. We probably would just be getting straight to theaters and that's it. But clearly their data must show like, hey, we got 1 million people and at least 40% conversion rate over several months. So like, let's say we're losing out on $50 million at a box office by putting it on Peacock. We might make 100 million if 10,000 people sign up or what, you know what I mean? Over X amount of years. Like they're looking at it from a broader scope because that's the only way that makes sense to me. Like otherwise, why would you put it on Peacock? Like, or at least let it get its opening weekend, do its opening weekend and then put it on Peacock. Like, but anyway,
on Monday or something.
Yeah, like that first Monday. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyway,
Well, all I can tell you is
Alright.
I'll be sitting here at midnight on Thursday.
Yeah. You're gonna
13th.
do it?
Yeah.
You're gonna do
I
it
think
at
I'm gonna do the
midnight?
midnight thing. I was debating on the midnight thing
Wow.
or just going to sleep, trying to rest, and
And get
get
up
up
early.
and get up at like 8 o'clock in the morning or something, 7, 8 o'clock, and just watch it, like bang bang, 2 in a row in the morning,
Yeah.
and then start hammering out review videos and stuff. But
Yep.
I don't know. We'll see. Either
Yeah.
way, I'll be watching it in the wonderful confines of my home entertainment system on my comfy recliner with my favorite beverage in hand and just letting it rip, man.
There you go.
I'm so
Yes,
excited.
yes.
Let her rip.
Let her rip.
rip.
Yeah, and James, It Comes at Night, that was a really interesting movie. It definitely took me by surprise a little bit. Yeah.
It comes
That
at
was a
night.
good
I don't
one.
know that I saw that.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that new?
Interesting.
Or
It's
older?
A couple years ago.
2017.
17, 2018, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a
Okay.
couple years ago. I think it's on Netflix right now. It's on one of those.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's on one of those streaming platforms. I saw
Yeah, all
it
the
recently.
A24 films are somewhere. I can't.
Yeah,
I think it's
I,
Netflix.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's that because I saw it the other day when I was like just late at night trying to find something as background noise, and I was like, oh hey, I was like, this is a pretty decent movie. I didn't end
Yep.
up playing it, ended up going something else, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, we'll get ready to end up there. Thanks so much for hanging out with us, guys, in the live chat. And for those watching the replay, please give the video a like if you have not. We'd really, really, really appreciate it, and it would support the channel a hell of a lot. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about what we've talked about with Halloween Ends and any expectations and so forth. And we will catch you guys later. The collective has spoken. Peace. Have a good day.
Good night.